Put the needle on the record.
Brunson stops on a dime, launches. Oh yeah! Jalen Brunson buries it.
They give it to B. All right, here it is. Bernard looking for 50, and he's got it. Back-to-back 50-point games for Bernard King.
Now has Starks for Ewing. Ewing with the spin. Ewing, yes! 1 8 seconds remaining. The Knicks lead by 1.
Understands the moment when to put this team on his back, delivering time and time again. Knicks trying to steal game one.
Knicks not only tried to steal game one, they stole game one. This is New York Knicks Unleashed. This is Tim. New York Knicks take game one of the NBA championship, 105-95 in San Antonio. There's a lot to talk about in this game. It really was a total team effort. It was an effort that if you watch this team play, even when they were down at 1.13, you never really thought the Knicks were out of it. And it's weird to say because you watch Jalen Brunson, excuse me, I'm looking through a couple other clips here. You watch Jalen Brunson take a beating at points in time and no foul. The dude takes a beating. There's no fouls. And it's amazing that Jalen did not attempt a free throw until midway in the third quarter. I'm not going to get into the officiating because of the fact that the Knicks won, but it really was a tale of two halves in regards to the officiating. At one point in time, the San Antonio Spurs had 13 free throw attempts to the Knicks 3, and that was in the entire first half. We only had 3 free throws attempts in that first half. And it was amazing because there was a turnover of a call that really just shocked the hell out of me. And listen, Wemby is going to be the face of this league. He is the face of the franchise right now, but a second-year player, I have really not seen a second-year player like this get so much of the benefit of the doubt on almost every single call. And I understand it's at home. I understand it's game one, but there was the turnover call, the call that we should rephrase that was turned over with Karl-Anthony Towns, where he basically got elbowed in the face by Wemby, and they called it an offensive foul. A few possessions later, you watched Cornette do the same thing to Mitchell Robinson, and there was the whistle. Now, I will say this: when we went more into the second half, the calls started evening out a little bit. It was a little bit more even. But like I said, I'm not going to harp. I'm not going to pick because like I said, you win 105-95 in a team effort. You were down 13 at one point. I mean, let's be honest. Until that fourth quarter, where Jalen Brunson had 13 points, he didn't have a great game. And Jalen Brunson technically did not have a great game. He shot 12 for 31. Yes, he did put up 30 points, but he was 12 for 31. He was 2 for 9 from 3. You know, if you take a look at it, he did have 4. He actually led the Knicks with 4 turnovers. The Knicks, outside of Brunson, only turned the ball. Let's think of it this way. Brunson had 4 turnovers. The entire Knick team in 48 minutes had 4 turnovers. So he really did. Like I said, he didn't hit his stride until he was needed. That's why he's Captain Clutch. You got to give big props to Karl-Anthony Towns. You know, some people say he had a quiet night at 18 and 12. He had 18 and 12 with 4 assists, only 2 turnovers. But it was that run that he had when we were down 13. You're down 13. And really, it was the will at times of Karl-Anthony Towns in that short period of time, in those 3-4 minutes span, that really helped propel the Knicks back into this game and back into the league. Back into the lead. You got to forgive me a little bit. I'm still a little befuddled and dumbfounded about how well this game went yesterday. Because, like I said, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I thought the Knicks were going to lose to last night. I really did. I thought they were going to lose last night only because of the fact that, you know, it just wasn't going well for Jalen. And you had Mike Brown discuss it a little bit yesterday as well.
I mean, we've seen it all time and again with Jalen. But, you know, what was the difference between his first 3 quarters and then what he did in that last 7.5 minutes? I know he's hunting Champagne a little bit, but what did you see there that got him going?
Yeah, he's a gamer, man. He in the biggest moments, he shows up. And that's what MVPs are supposed to do.
MVP, I mean, twisted ankle at one point in time, hurt his knee, bleeding from the knee. And Jalen Brunson, still when it matters, still when it counts, kind of reminds me of that Christmas Day with Bernard King. He came up like 7-Up.
We put the ball in his hands. We said we were going to live and die with him, and he went and he got it done for us. And that's happened time after time after time after time. He got to his spots and he made plays. Now, on top of that, our guys spaced the floor correctly. When you're playing against San Antonio and you have a defensive anchor like Wemby back there, your spacing has to be right. And if that ball,
you have to not be afraid of Victor Wembanyama. You have to, Wemby. You can't be afraid of him. There was an early point in the game where he was altering Knicks shots from above the key. It's like, dude, take it to the hole on him. This guy is a stick. A good stiff breeze is going to blow him down. And it was the defensive intensity in the first half that I think was lacking. Because a lot of times with this Knicks team, because of the free-flowing offense, that defensive intensity and creating those turnovers and getting those rebounds is what sets up this offense.
Get sprayed, we know Wemby's in the paint. When the ball gets sprayed, guys got to make plays. And Josh was great with his quick DHOs. Guys were great shooting the ball.
Josh Hart is another guy you got to talk about for a minute. Josh Hart, who got in a little bit of foul trouble early while playing 27 minutes, but he was this motor. 15. Yes, he only had 3 points, but 15 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals. He was this motor. He was this callous. You watched him push the ball up the floor on consecutive plays and just make this offense work. And like I said, you got another big props to Josh Hart. I'm actually wearing a Josh Hart jersey right as we speak.
Guys were great having a second drive. And those are things you got to try to do against this team because Wemby is going to gravitate towards the ball when you drive it. And, again, I give our guys credit, especially starting with Jalen because he made some huge plays, which drew Wemby in even more. But give our guys credit for trying to play fast down the stretch and making sure the floor was spaced.
Now, Wemby, for all of his statistics, did not have a great game. He was 6 for 21, 12 rebounds. They gave him the benefit of the doubt on so many free throws. 12 of 13. He was he did post a -3 with 6 turnovers as well. Listen, like I said, I know he's going to be the face of the league, and I understand that, but you can't have 2 separate rules of engagement in reference to fouls between Wemby and like someone like Jalen Brunson. You just can't. It just doesn't make sense. And like I said, it kind of started evening itself out in that second half, but it is what it is. Now, Julian Champagne, you can't leave him open as much as we did on 3. He shot 50% from 3. We're gonna have to work on that with a little bit of the guard play. Landry Shamet tried to rotate over a few times, but came in late. Like I said, they got young athletic guards between Champagne, Castle, and Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper had a nice game. He was 16 points in 28 minutes with 8 rebounds as well. But it was just the tenacity of the New York Knicks. It was just the ability for the Knicks to really, and that's why you love this Knicks team, and that's why they have won 12 games in a row here in the playoffs. I've already said it before. I'm calling it Knicks in 4. I know I've said that the last 3 series, and I know I predicted the Knicks to lose last night, but I'm still calling it Knicks in 4 and saying that I've always said that since day one, even though I didn't. Big shout out also to like OG Anunoby and Bridges, and just really the starting unit itself. Mitchell Robinson, you could tell he had a little bit of the ill effects with the hands on some of the plays. Listen, he can't shoot free throws for shit recently, but well, the one that he attempted, he did literally clang. I mean, it was a little bit interesting. Of course, like I said, the New York Knicks actually were 16 out of 18. Comparison of 20 out of 25. I mean, like I said, it was just there was just a moment in time you were just kind of like, listen, ref, I know you're burying the whistle a little bit, but you cannot even, a stiff breeze could go by Wemby like, that's we got on the arm 2. And there was actually one play that Karl Anthony Towns was just standing there and Victor ran into him. And they called the elbow on Karl Anthony Towns. I was like, okay. I figured to myself, this is the way the NBA wants to play this. This is what they want to do. They want to make this series competitive. But you know what? There's a fire in this team. There is an ability of this team. I talk about the 86 Giants a lot on my other channel. And the 86 Giants were a special team. And you kind of knew once you knew how special they were in season. But once they got in the playoffs, they were just on a different level. And the Knicks are playing on that different level right now. You got game 2 coming up in a day. And then this series is headed back to New York. I'd love to see the Knicks take game 2. And I'd love to see the Knicks sweep this and finish this shit out next week in New York on Wednesday. Let's just get it done, guys. Let's get it done. Let's play. Well, it wouldn't be Wednesday, it'd be Saturday. But let's just get it done, guys. Let's just continue to play well. This is Tim, this New York Knicks Unleashed. And I'm out of here.